the AQA Functional Skills Level 1 Mathematics Paper 1, which means that it's the non-calculator paper. It's the 11th of January 2021. So let's have a go at it. We have 30 minutes and you should really be using a black pen for these questions. So let's have a go. Question 1 says work out 2.36 times 1,000. In that case, we notice that we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So when we multiply the decimal point, we have 2.36. The decimal point will move 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So it's at the end. Let's fill the gap in with a 0, and we end up with 2,360, and there's our answer. So let's circle it. Question 2. It says write these numbers in order of size, starting with the smallest. So we notice they're whole numbers. We don't need to worry about decimals. In this case, let's look at the number of digits. This one over here has 6 digits, 5 digits, 6 digits. So we'll look at the smallest. That one has 5 digits, so we can write that one down. So we can say 82,759. Let's cross it off. So we're left with these two. We're looking for the next biggest, in which case we're going to go for the 1,990,020. And the largest one there is a 205,132. Excellent. Question 3. What angle is the clockwise turn from north to east? So let's remind ourselves, north is at the top, east is over here towards the right. It tells us we're going in the clockwise direction. Clockwise direction is going in this direction, in which case we can see it's going to be 90 degrees. So we'll write 90 degrees. It already has a degree sign, so I won't bother writing it down. Okay, excellent. Let's move on to question number 4. Here are some numbers. Work out the range. Excellent. So range is the biggest number. So we have 50. Subtract the smallest number. 50 take away 10 is 40. 40 take away 2 is going to give me 38. We can always check it by adding back. So 38 plus 2 is 40. 40 plus 10 is 50. So we know we're correct. Question number 5. Question number 5 is a BODMAS question. You notice we have an addition and a division, which means that we should really do the division first. How many 5s fit into 45? You know your times table, you know it's 9. Otherwise, count up and you'll find that there's 9 5s make 45. We haven't finished. We still have to do 20 plus that 9. So the answer will be 29. Question 6 is a multiplication with a fraction. Different ways to think about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write it as 3/4 multiplied by 32, and basically I'm just going to extend that line over and I'm going to say how many 4s fit into 32. So 4 divided by 32, or sorry, the other way around, 32 divided by 4. Well, we know there are 8 4s in 32. 3 times 8 is what we're now going to work out. 3 times 8 will give us an answer of 24. I shall write the answer down here to make it nice and clear that that's my final answer, 24. Let's progress on to question number 7. We are now looking at section B, so these questions are all a little bit longer. You can see there's 3 marks and they're a little bit more involved. We're talking about a triathlon, and in this triathlon they tell us that it has 3 stages. There's a swim, a cycle and a run. The swim is 250 meters. The cycle is 10.35 kilometers, and the run, but we don't know how far the run is. However, they do tell us that the total distance of all the 3 stages together is 13 kilometers. And they're asking us to work out the distance of the run, and they want it in kilometers. That's important. This one's already in kilometers. This one's in kilometers, but this one is not in kilometers. So we should really change that one into kilometers first. And to do that, we need to divide by 1,000. So if you have 250 and you divide by 1,000, there are 3 zeros. You go 1, 2, 3. So we end up with 0.25 kilometers. Now we want to see how much is left over, so that altogether it's 13 kilometers. So I'm going to subtract this one and that one from it. Or if you want to, you could add them first and then subtract afterwards. It's up to you. Perhaps we'll do the addition. So let's do that first. So the swim is 0.250 and the cycle is 10.35 kilometers. Notice I've aligned my decimal dots. I'm going to add them together. So when we add them together, I'm going to get nothing there. 5 plus 5 is 10, carry 1. 3 plus 3 is going to be 6, decimal dot, 0 plus 0 is 0, and 1. So we see that we have 10.6. Now we'll do our subtraction. So in total we have 13 kilometers. Now I'm going to write some decimal places there, and the reason is I know I have some decimals here, so I'm going to have to make sure I line them up. We're going to subtract 10.60 away from it. 0 take away 0 is nothing. 0 take away 6 I cannot do, so I'm going to have to borrow. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to borrow 1 out of that 3, so I'm left with 2 in this column. Carry over to this side, so I now have 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. There's my decimal dots. 2 take away nothing is a 2, and 1 take away 1 is a 0. So I'm left with 2.4. So the answer to this question, let's write it in the right place, is going to be 2.4 kilometers. Excellent. Let's move on to part B of this question. Ooh, we noticed that we have a pie chart. And how do I know that? Well, because in this question it says pie chart there, but we also have a circle with a starting of a pie chart. So we're going to have to draw something. Let's read it. It says Ken wants to complete the 3 stages in 40 minutes. This is his plan. He's going to swim for 5 minutes, cycle for half of the 40 minutes, run for the rest of the time. Draw and label the pie chart to show how Ken plans to use the 40 minutes. Now, the key thing here, or where I would start, is at that point there. Why? Because there's half, the cycle will take half of the 40 minutes. So if I do half of 40 minutes, we know that that's going to be 20 minutes long, okay? And that is a half of the full time. Now, when we're working with pie charts, we need to remember that what we have is a circle, and the circle has 360 degrees going all the way around. So in this case here, if I'm going to do half of it for the cycle, you could say, if you wanted to calculate it, you could say half of 360 will give you 180. So if you wanted to do it that way, you could then take your protractor and align it and be very careful and measure 180, but 180 is a straight line. So I don't even need to bother measuring it really. Let's just draw our straight line. So I'm going to be very careful to align it. Let me just make a point there, make the point of that there. And, oops, let's make sure it's aligned. There we are. There we are. Okay. Pick a side. One of these sides is going to be the half. I'm going to pick this side. I'm going to call this one here cycle. Always remember to label your, and if you wanted to, you could always put in here 180, but it's not necessary because we can see that it's a half of the circle. Okie dokie. So let's think what else we have. We have here 5 minutes for the swim, and the rest is going to be for the run. Well, if we have 20 minutes here and 5 minutes there, that's 25. We have 40 minutes in total, so I'm going to say 40 take away 20 is 20, 20 take away 5 is going to leave me here with 15 minutes. Okay, so let's work out. So that was a cycle. Let me just write that down for clarity. Let's work out the other one. So how far is the swim? The swim is 5 minutes out of a total of 40. But we can cancel that down. How many 5s are there? 1. How many 5s in 40? 8. So we're actually looking at 1/8 of 360. Okay. And when we come to do the run, sorry, let me just write that down. That there was a swim. And when we do the other one for the run is going to be 15 out of 40. How many 5s are 15? 3. How many 5s in 48 times by 360? Okay. When we work that out, let's see how much it's going to go. So that's really a division because 1 times 360 is 360. Divide by 8. Now divide by 8, you could halve it to get a quarter. Sorry, do halve it. Let's see. So halve was 180, then halve it again to get a quarter, which would be 90, and then halve it again, which would be 45. So that's one way of doing it. Okay. The other way of doing it is actually doing a long division. Now in this case we have 3 lots of them, so 3 lots of 45, 3 times 5 is 15, carry 1, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And that's what we're going to draw, a 45 and 135. So just be careful, let's line up my protractor, get the centre done quite well, line it up. And we're looking for 45, 10, 20, 30, 40, there's 45, so let's line it up. And here we are. Excellent. So let's label it. This is going to be the swim, and the one on this side is going to be the run. Excellent. 1 to go. Oh no, sorry, 2 to go. Let's have a look. Here we have Ken completing his 3 stages. They tell us the time it took for each of the stages, and the question is, did he complete it in less than 40 minutes? So we're really going to have to add and find if all these times together is less or more than 40 minutes. Now be careful, because remember that you need 60 seconds to make a minute, so we can't just add them all up like we would normally do. So I'm going to focus on the minutes, and I'm going to focus on the seconds. So if I focus on adding the minutes together, I have 11 plus 22 is 33, plus 5 is going to be 38. So from that bit there, I know I have 38 minutes. Okay. Now on this side, as I work that one out, I notice I have 55 seconds here. If I take 5 seconds from that one, basically 45, if I put that 5 seconds there, I'll end up with another minute. Can you see that? Because that's 55 plus 5 is 60, so that would give me another minute there. Okay, so that one's done. Now I'm left with 40 and another 40 here. So what I can do is I could split this 40 into a 20 and a 20, and the reason for that is that 40 plus 20 is 60, which gives me another minute, and then I'm left with 20 minutes. Sorry, that's an error, 20 seconds, so let's correct that. Now you're not allowed to use erasable pens in the exam, but for this it makes it easier for me to explain. So we have 38, 39, 40, so in total we have 40 minutes over here and 20 seconds. And so in response to the question, did he do it in less than 40 minutes? Then clearly the answer is no, he did not. Okay, now final question. Part D. It says there are 6 different age groups for the triathlon. Each age group has 25 competitors. Every competitor is entered into a prize draw, and one lucky person will get a t-shirt as a prize. Work out the probability that Ken wins a t-shirt. Oh, so it's a probability. Now remember, when we work probability, we want to know what the total out of how many. And if there are 6 groups here and each group has 25 people, we should work out how many people in total we have. So 6 times 25, okay? If we do that, we will end up with 6 times 5 is 30, carry 3, 6 times 2, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that gives us 150 competitors in total. And what's the chance of winning? Well, there's only one competitor who has a chance of winning. So that would give us a chance of 1 out of 150. Excellent, we've finished. Have a nice time. Bye.